this part there is no doubt with any of the students, so I'll leave it as it is. Okay, this is the formulation part. So we'll start with the next one. So here you guys are having a problem. You guys told sir the second part. So here if you see, this is a formulation that you have got. Okay, 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 60, and I have marked it as number 1, and 4x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 96. I marked it as number 2. So I'll go back. You can just check. So here see. Oh sorry, it was forward. So here RM, this is raw material. So you can see 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 60. Check. 2x1 plus 3x2 here less than or equal to 60. Then second one, 4x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 96. Okay, so 4x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 96. So these are the two equations. We have to take it one by one. So here I am taking first method. So for first, that is first equation here, that is 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 60. We need to take, and we need to make this 60. Okay, this 60 whatever is there with me, I have to make this as 1. So how to do it? I have to divide the entire this particular equation by 60. Okay, so see here I have written divide the entire equation with 60, that is RHS. This is RHS. So this is less than or equal to, right? So this side it is called as RHS, and this side it is called as LHS. So left hand side and right hand side. So I am doing 2x1 divided by 60 plus 3x2 divided by 60 less than or equal to 60 by 60. So what happens? This two ones are here, and 2 30s are 60. So 1 into x1 is x1 only. So I am writing x1 divided by 30. Okay. So second one here, if you see 3 ones are and 3 2s are. So it is 20. Right. So it is x2 into 1 is x2. So I am writing x2 divided by 20. So 60 divided by 60 both gets cancelled and having 1. Okay. So here you can directly take x1 as 30. Yeah. X1 is equal to 30 and x2 is equal to 20. Yesterday I told you how to write. So first x-axis has to be written always, then y-axis. So it is x-axis is 30. Okay, x1 is my x-axis. Remember, x2 is my y-axis. So x1 I have to write first. 30, comma 20. This is the point actually. So in x-axis I have to draw a point at 30, and in y-axis at 20. Then I have to draw that particular line. Right. So I'll remove that particular line. Okay, this I don't want here. So this is 30 divided 30 comma 20. This is one of the points. Okay, or one of the line where I am drawing. So 30 and 20. Fine. So next I am taking the second one again. Second equation is 4x1. So here 4x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 96. So here also I have taken. So I have to make this 96 as 1. So what I have to do? I have to divide the entire equation with 96. So I'm doing the same thing here. Divide the entire equation with 96. So if you see 4x1 divided by 96, so 3x2 divided by 96 less than or equal to 96 by 96. So this directive goes and it becomes 1. Okay. So but if you divide 4 by 96, 24 4 is 96. You can use your calculators also. 4 divided by 96. You will get 1 by 24. 1 by 24. So 1 into x is x. So it is x1 divided by 24 plus here 3 divided by 96 is 1 by 32. So it is x2 divided by 32, which is less than or equal to 1. Here if you see whatever I am getting 24. Okay. This is my x1 comma 32 is my x2, or this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay, this you got first method. So nothing we have to do. We have to just divide the entire equation with the RHS, the right hand side. So this is the right hand side for both here. So divide the entire equation with these two things. Okay, then you are getting these points in x and y. Then method 2, nothing much. So again equations to both the equations I have taken 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 60. So here what we need to do, first put x1 is equal to 0, find x2, then put x2 is equal to 0, find x1. That's all. So here I put x1 is equal to 0 and if I put x1 is equal to 0, this becomes 0. So there is no x1 here. So it becomes 3x2 is equal to 60. So what is my x2? x2 is equal to 60 divided by 3. 60 divided by 3. So what is 60 divided by 3? It is 20. If I put x1 is equal to 0, I am getting x2 is equal to 20. Okay, so this is how I am writing it here. I am making a box here. So if I am putting x1 is equal to 0, I am getting x2 is equal to 20. Then I am putting x2 is equal to 0. So this one. So I am putting x2 is equal to 0 in the next one. So if I put x2 is equal to 0, this becomes 0. So this will be 2x1 is equal to 60. So what is x1? x1 is equal to 60 divided by 2. That is equal to 30. So this becomes 30 here. Okay, this is 30 x2. So again, if you see, x1 is 30, okay, and x2 is 20. So I'll write it again like a normal format. 30, okay, comma 20. Okay. So if you go back and check here, so what I've got 30 comma, see here. So I've got 30 comma 20. So even here I am getting 30 comma 20. Yeah, even here I am getting 30 comma 20. See here, 30 comma 20 here, and here also 30 comma 20. So both the methods will give you the same answer. Okay, so some students will not understand that or get confused over in the previous method, and some students get confused here. So I am just giving you both the methods. You can use any of the methods. Okay, so you can get the answer. So I don't want to specify which method you want to use. You choose which method you want to choose. So similarly, for second, 4x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 96. So again put x1 is equal to 0. This becomes 0. So this becomes 3x2 is equal to 96. 3x2 is equal to 96. So this becomes 96 divided by 3. x2 is 96 divided by 3. So that gives you 32. So here what the problem I did. So I have kept the same thing. So if I put x1 is equal to 0, so x2 I had to write here. This should be 32. Instead of what I did, I wrote it here. So that was the mistake. I got confused here. So I did not want to confuse you there as well. So instead of writing it for x2, I have written it for x1 only. So that is what I used this. Okay, this one, as both the methods will give me the same answer. So even my graph got wrong. Okay, so instead of writing 32 here, I have written it here. So similarly, when I put 0 in x2, so I substitute 0 x2, so this term will become 0. So now 4x1 is equal to 96. So x1 is 96 divided by 4, and the value that I am getting is 24. So instead of 32 here, I have to write 24. So that was the mistake. So again, if I write this in normal format, so what is x1? 24. Okay, this is 24 comma 32. We'll go back and see again 24 comma 32 whether it is there. Yes, 24 comma 32. See here, 24 comma 32. Here also 24 comma 32. First one 30 comma 20. Second one is 24 comma 32. Okay, so this is what is the second method. No much of the things. So first method, divide everything, the whole equation by the LHS, sorry, by RHS, so that we are getting RHS equal to 1. So that you are getting the same answer again. Okay, so in the second method, first put x1 is equal to 0, find out x2. Then in the same equation, put x2 is equal to 0, find x1. Okay, so then if you want, you can write it like this. So while representing it, I got a mistake. So this is 24 and not 32. Here it is 32 and not 24. That was the mistake that I did yesterday. So even for you also, so for the same reason I put it here, even you can do the same mistake. So always remember where you are writing x1 and x2. So once you are putting x1 is equal to 0, you are getting the value of x2. So write it in place of x2 and not x1 again. So there it is where you go horribly wrong. Okay, so I hope you understood this. Any difficulty here in method 1 and method 2?
No, sir.
No, right? This is very easy actually to understand. So if you are having any doubt, you can ask me now in method 1 or method 2. I hope till here everything is perfectly understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now moving to the graph. Okay, so again be very careful, look at this. Okay, don't make any mistakes while I am explaining. Please be very concentrated. Okay, why? Because only the problem is you have understood till there, but the optimum solution you will get only in the graph. Okay, you cannot make out what is the answer till you draw the graph, mark all the things, then substitute. Okay, so if you see here, I have drawn the graph. I should have written the points. So what are the points? I'll go back, I'll write it again. So 30 comma 20 is one, so I'll write it here. Okay, 30 comma 20 is one. Then what is the second one? Second one is 32 comma, not, sorry, 24 comma 32. So it is 24 comma 32. This is just for your reference, so that we should not go back and front. Okay, this is 30 comma 20, 24 comma 32, 30 comma 20, 24 comma 32. Yes. So now, so these are the points what I have got from two equations, right? So first, for example, if I take 30 comma 20, so always this is x-axis, remember, and this is y-axis. Okay, x-axis and y-axis. So I'll draw a line here also in between. You can make it like a box. So x-axis is 30 and y-axis is 20. So here in the second one, x-axis is 24, y-axis is 32. So if I take the first one now, 30 comma 20, this is x-axis. So where is 30? So this is my 0. Okay, this is my x-axis is written here x1, and here it is x2. Okay, so this is my what do you call point of start. If I start from here, I want what 30 now. So where is 30? 30 is here. So I'll mark a point here. I'll put a circle just for your reference. No need to do all these things. Okay, so this is 30. So 30, and what is y? Y is 20. Where is 20? So this is y. 20 is here. I put the mark over here. I put a circle. So what to do? We need to draw a line, straight line. Okay, like marking both these points. So in x-axis it is 30. In y-axis it is 20. Okay, so while you do this, we have to write the equation on this. Okay, so for what equation I am getting this these 2 points? For 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 60. So this is the equation for which, so I'll just draw a line. I need to remove it later. So this is the equation. So you have to write the equation on the line of which you have got those particular 2 points. Next, coming to the second one, here it is 24 and 32. So 24 is in x-axis. So what is 24? 24 is here. I'll put a mark, I'll put a circle. Okay, so in the class I could have drawn one by one, but I cannot draw it because of this particular what do you call mouse pointer. I cannot draw a straight line exactly. Okay, so here, but the thing is we need to get an exact point. Okay, so by some means, if you get some graph sheets, okay, please get the graph sheets and try to solve in the graph sheet, because we want the exact point. Okay, so exact point will give you the right answer, or it will take you to towards the right answer. Okay, so it might be small variation here and there because of the even the thickness of the pencil is very important. If you are drawing with a pencil, pen is fine, it is pointed and it will not change, the point will not change, it will give the same thickness of line. But in pencil, if you are using, as and when you are writing more and more, the nib becomes thicker and thicker. You are getting a thicker line. Okay, that might change your answer a little bit, not much. But if you are using your graph sheet, the lines are made exactly, so you can directly pinpoint that particular point. Okay, where you are getting it. Okay, so here it is 24, 32. So 24 is marked. Where is 32? 32 is here on top. Okay, 32 is here. So draw this particular line again, straight line, and mark the equation or write the equation. So for which equation we got? We got this line for 4x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 96. Okay, so for this line, I am getting this, for this equation, I am getting this line. Okay, so now comes the play of this. Okay, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, these points. Okay, so here also it is less than or equal to, here also it is less than or equal to. So again I will repeat, yesterday also I have told, less than or equal to means towards the center. So because the numbers from here, I am getting a larger number, from this side to this side you need to go. Okay, again for less, for more than, you should go to this side. Okay, similarly for less, you should come down. and for more we should go up in x-axis and y-axis. Remember this. So here what is given? Both are less than or equal to. So I will take first this line, that is 24 comma 32. So always, even while telling also, the x-axis should be said first. So this is 24 comma 32. So I'll take this line first. So it is telling me less than. So what is less than? I told this side, right? This side is less than. So, and from this side also it is less than, it is this side. So I have marked all the arrows here. So my area of interest is under this line. So whatever this particular big triangle I am getting, so this is my area of interest for this particular equation. Then comes second one. So coming to here, again it is less than or equal to. So I have to go again this direction, here also down, so this direction. So if I see here, this is the equation, okay, and this is the line. So under this again I am drawing a line over here, so arrows over here. So again they are under, okay, so you can see here. But my feasible region to get, so here we are we are coming up with something called as a feasible region. So feasible region is the region where, so here we are having only two equations. We can get three equations or four equations later. So where all the equations, where the area of all the equations meet, okay, so that is called as a feasible region. So if you see, so a line is coming here, okay, and there is a line here. So these two are not coinciding because this is inside and this is inside. If this was outside, so this would be my area of interest. Okay, both are inside. So this is the part where I am not getting anything of this line. So under this line, okay, under this line and under this line, so this part won't come. So similarly, if I come here, under this line it is there, but this is not under this line. So my area or feasible region would be this. Okay, here there is a point, again this, okay, this is my feasible region. So you have to mark the feasible region always. We need to shade it in particular format. It could be a angle or it could be like this also. I don't have any issues drawing. Okay, so I have marked the feasible region also. This is the feasible region. Okay, for every diagram that you do, so if you don't mark it, well and good, but you need to shade it in a particular format, okay, where both the areas, wherever it is said above or below, you need to mark. That's why it is important, less than or greater than, okay, that is very much important. Even if it could be is equal to also might come, okay, so that we'll see later. Okay, so we see this is my area of feasibility or feasible region. So the points which are bounding this feasible region, so which are the points? One is this, okay, this is the feasible point one, which is enclosing this feasible region. Second point is this, okay, the third point is this, okay, where the points, what I'm telling is two lines should cut, okay, here two lines are cutting, that is at 0 origin, x and y are being cutting. Here this particular line is cutting and y axis is cutting. At this point these two equations are cutting here at this point, okay. Then there is one more point where x axis and this particular line is cutting, so this is a point again. So I'm getting 1, 2 and 3 points. So this fourth one you may or may not consider, because when you substitute it becomes 0, okay, because x axis is also 0 and y axis is also 0 here. This gives you 0 comma 0. This point is 0 comma 0. So anything you multiply with 0 anywhere, it becomes 0. So this you may consider, may not consider, but to complete this particular feasible region, yes, 0 is there. So at times it may so happen you might get feasible region here, this triangle. So here it becomes 1, 2, 3. So here you should take all the 3 because 0, 0 is not there. So here you can omit this origin, but I am getting here 3 points, that is A, I am marking it as A, okay, and here you can see B also is written, this is B. You can name anything, huh? You can come from A here and C here, I don't have any issue, but you need to mark A, and this point is B, and this point is C. I have marked here C, okay, and we need to come up with the coordinates for this. These are called as coordinates of this particular point. So what is the coordinate here? So always I told you x-axis should be written first. If you see x-axis, I am not going anywhere, so I am on the x-axis. So the x-axis is 0, and y-axis I am going on top. So how much I am going on top? Here it is 20. Okay, this is 20. So it becomes 0, 20. This point is called as 0, 20. So coming to C again, I'll go to B later. So I'll just remove these lines, then you'll understand better. So if I'm coming to C here, so if you see, I am having point at X. So in the X direction, I am coming more, or I am moving towards the X direction. How much? By 24. So this is 24 X-axis. The coordinate is 24, and y-axis on top. Have I gone somewhere? No, it's on x-axis. So the y-axis is 0 here. So here it is 0, 20. Here it is 24, 0. So don't make any mistakes in this. Okay, always the x-axis point will be first, and then the y-axis point. Okay, now I'll erase this first, then we can go towards B. Okay, so coming there to the 10. Okay, so if you see here, this is the point B. I have already marked it here, B, and so you have to go straight, okay, parallel to x-axis and parallel to y-axis to this point. I'm drawing a straight line here using a scale, and I'm getting 18. Okay, so this is at x-axis. So x-axis is 18. So my x is 18 here. Then draw a parallel line to x-axis, and I'm getting 8. Okay, I'm at 8. So y-axis is 8. So this becomes 18, 8. Okay, so this point, how to do? Take a straight line down and take a straight line horizontally. So just check where it is correspondingly coming. Here I am getting exactly 8 and 18. So it might come here also somewhere. Okay, if the point is here on top, it might come here also. So I am taking 2 here, 8 and 10. So if it comes in between here, you need to take it as 9 and not 8. Okay, so I am getting all the 3 points here. Point A, 0, 20. Point B, 18, 8. And point C, 24, 0. Okay, again I'll repeat. You can take anything, A, B, C. I have taken it A as here, here A, here B, and here C. So it depends on you. You can take anything. You can take A here, B here, C here, and D here. So usually I'm not using this origin, so I'm not marking it. So if I want, I can mark. So as my marking A, B, C, and I can put a D here. D is 0, 0. So I don't want it, I'm not marking it. Okay, so these particular points, A, B, and C has to be substituted in your objective function. Okay, if you go back, I'll go back. I'll show you the objective function that we have come up. See, this is the objective function. OF is maximization. We want maximum of Z, and the equation that we have come up with is 40x1 plus 35x2. Okay, this is my objective function. So after drawing this particular graph, I'll go to the equation now. So what we have, max Z, that is objective function, is 40x1 plus 35x2. So we need to substitute each and every point that we have marked over there. Okay, for point A, what is point A? 0, 20. I'll just go back. See here, 0, 20 is my point A. Okay, so we need to substitute this 0 in place of x1. Why? Because number of products of x1 we have taken. Like x1 is number of products of product A. Okay, quantity of product A basically. This is quantity of product B. So just check. I'll go back again. So what it is? Let x1 be units of product A and x2 be units of product B. Okay, so going back there. So we need to substitute first one x in place of x1 and y in place of x2. So 40 into 0 plus 35 into 20. Okay, so using your calculator, if you calculate this, I'm getting 700. So at point 1, if I choose point 1, the profit is 700. So now coming for point B, 18, 8. So what is Z of B? So I'm taking Z of A. Here it is, general equation is Z, max Z. Here it is Z of A, Z of B, and Z of C for each point. So Z of B, what it is? It is 18, 8. In place of x1, it is 18. x2, it is 8. So it is 40 into 18 plus 35 into 8. Okay, again calculate using your calculator, and I'm getting value as 1000. Okay, next for point C, it is 24, 0. So in place of x1, it will be 24. In place of x2, it is 0. So Z of C is equal to 40 into 24 plus 35 into 0. If you calculate using your calculator, it becomes 960. Okay, so what is my objective function? Maximization. So out of these three, I have to find the maximum one. Which is maximum? It is 1000. So this is my point which I have to consider. So if I use this, I am getting maximum profit, and that is 1000. So compare 700 and 960 and 1000. 1000 is greater. So I'm getting a profit of 1000. So what is this now? What is the inference? Okay, point B I need to take, but how? Okay, so here 18 and 8 will help you. So what is that? We select point B, so which is giving the optimum or maximum solution. The maximum, I am getting maximum profit. So that is, I am taking point B. So what it gives, as it gives maximum profit, and choose what? And choose to produce 18 quantity of A, because X1 is representing A. Okay, this is A. Here I'll write A, and this is product B. Okay, so I need to produce 18 quantity of A and 8 quantity of B. This is what is your inference. You have to come up with this answer. So this will give me maximum profits. So if I produce 18 quantity of A and 8 quantity of B, I will be getting 1000 as my profit. So this is what is maximization problem. We call it as maximization problem. Here we are maximizing the profit. Okay. So did you get how it is 18 and 8? 18 for A and 8 for B. You only have written, right? X1 is for quantity of product A and X2 is quantity of product B. So this is X1 and this is X2. So as we are taking point B as the optimum, so we need to produce 18 quantity of A and 8 quantity of B. That is what is written here. So at the end you can write this for addition, you can write for profit of 1000 rupees or maximum profit of 1000. Okay, so any doubts here, students? Did you get any doubts? Yeah, any doubts, students? Please answer. If you're having, ask me. Otherwise, we'll move ahead. Yeah, students, any doubts?
Excuse me, sir.
Just a second. I'll just be back. Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. I'll call you back. Yeah, Akanksha, tell me.
So I had doubt relating graph.
Okay, I'll go back to graph. Fine. Yeah. So I'll remove
So
all
can
this
you?
first
Yes,
slides.
sir.
Is it okay? Or you want to
Yes, sir.
ask in whatever has been written?
So please erase it, sir.
Yeah.
So can you explain that how you got that feasible that region?
Region. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the region where both, okay, this line, the area under this line and area under this line should be there. Okay, so if you see, I'll just mark, okay, whichever is coinciding. This, this, and this. This is the feasible region actually. Okay, how I got this feasible region? I'll take two different colors. Okay, I'll take two different colors and I will be getting it easier. So if I take area under this line, okay, area under this line, what is that area? I'll mark only that. Okay, this is brown. Okay, I'm marking area under this line. Okay. It is going in here. Okay. Yeah, did you find out? Only under this line I'm marking. This line.
Okay.
Okay, it comes till here. So next I'll take a different one, different color. I'll change the color. Okay. Then okay, I'll take blue. Okay, so area under this particular line now. Okay, I'll mark it in horizontal, sorry, vertical lines.
Line, the area under this line.
Okay, now can you see two different areas? Area under this one and area under this line. So which
Yes.
place? So I'll just remove this red one so that you will get it properly. Okay, so if you see here, this particular thing, okay, this line brown is the area under this particular line, okay, and this blue is area under this. So I am interested in where both the areas are coinciding. Okay, see, if you see here, it is this I'll draw here. Okay, this thing, if you see here, I am having only area of this particular line. Okay, so I have to leave this area. So this area is gone. Okay, if I come here, okay, if I come here again, if you see, I'm having only line area under this one. So again, this is gone. Okay, so I'll change the color again to red. Okay, so if you see now, these two are gone. So which is the place where I'm having both the colors? This. Up to this point, then it goes here, then here. Okay, then this. So can you see under this red area? Can you see both brown color and blue color? So I am interested in this area. So this is my feasible area where both the areas under both the constraints. Okay, if there is one more line, there is one more constraint, and I am drawing one more, whether it is less than or greater than. So even that area has to be there. Then only it is my feasible region. So where both the areas of both the lines are coinciding here. Okay, this is my feasible region. So it is called as a feasible region. Can you get this?
Yes, I understood, sir. Thank you.
Understood? Yeah. Anyone similar doubts or any other doubt? Hope I have cleared the doubt. So I'll mark this as feasible region. So in the examination, I could have taught you like this only, but it is very clumsy. You could have seen. So earlier, all the inks were there, and I cannot draw a straight line also. So I did not draw it like this. So I thought you will understand. But anyway, so I removed everything and I have explained you. So this is I have to reject. This I have to reject, and I have to pick only this one. Why? Because areas of area under both the lines are mixing here or coinciding. So I need only the coinciding part. Okay, so this is called as a feasible region. Then only the points which are surrounding the feasible region are to be taken. Okay, if you see here again, x-axis, sorry, y-axis is cutting. So this line and this line, this thing is cutting here, but I cannot take this point because this is not encircling my feasible region. Same is here. So this line is cutting this line. So there is a point here. So I should not take. I should only take this point because this is only encircling my feasible region. So this is feasible region. I have drawn again. Okay, this is the feasible region. So I have to consider this. Okay, this because I'm not considering it because it is 0, 0. So here A is there. I have marked the point. B is there. I have marked the point. How? By taking straight line down or a straight line on the horizontal side. So we are getting 2 points here. So one is the x-axis. So for x-axis it is 18 on x-axis. On y-axis it is 8. So 18 comma 8 is my feasible region. Okay. Anyone, any other doubts? Please let me know. I'll remove everything again. Okay. So any doubts here? Please students ask and clarify it now itself. Otherwise later on you might get too much of confusion where even you might confuse your friend as well who might have understood it properly. Okay, no doubts.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So you guys have copied this or you want time to do? I'll remove all this. Yeah, did you guys copy everything? Please answer students, you want time to copy or should I move ahead?
So copied.
Okay. Okay, fine. So others are not responding. I'm only taking the words of the person who is responding. Okay. So I'll go to the next problem. This is the second problem which is similar to first problem. As I told you, the problems of formulation would be very big because all the information should be given. Okay. So please write down. The Agriculture Institute the Agriculture Institute, sorry, Agriculture Research Institute suggested to a farmer, the Agriculture Research Institute suggested to a farmer, the Agriculture Research Institute suggested to a farmer to spread out, to spread out, to spread out at least 4,800 kgs, at least 4,800 kgs of special phosphate. Okay, 4,800 kgs of special phosphate fertilizer, special phosphate fertilizer, and no less than, and no less than 7,200 kgs of, and no less than 7,200 kgs of a special nitrogen fertilizer. 7,200 kgs of a special productivity to raise productivity of crops in his fields, to raise productivity of crops in his fields. Full stop. There are two sources of obtaining these. Okay, there are two sources of obtaining these. There are two sources of obtaining these, comma, mixtures A and B. Mixtures A and B. Full stop. Both of these are available in bags. Both of these are available in bags weighing 100 kg each. Okay, weighing 100 kg each, and the cost rupees 40, rupees 40, and rupees 24, rupees 40 and rupees 24 respectively. Rupees 40 and rupees 24 respectively. Full stop. A mixture contains, mixture A contains, so after full stop, mixture A contains phosphate and nitrogen, 20 kg and 80 kg, 20 kg and 80 kg respectively. Mixture A contains phosphate and nitrogen, 20 kg and 80 kg respectively. While mixture B contains, these ingredients, equivalent to 50 kg each, 50 kg each. Okay, while mixture B contains these ingredients equivalent to 50 kg each. Full stop. Write this as an LPP. Write this as an LPP and determine. Write this as an LPP and determine how many bags of each type, and determine how many bags of each type the farmer should buy in order to minimize the cost. Okay, write this as an LPP and determine how many bags of each type the farmer should buy in order to minimize the cost. In order to minimize the cost. Okay, this is the problem. Try solving it. So here you should see here what kind of objective function we are having. We are having minimization. Okay, you can see here minimization is given to you, minimizing the cost. So there earlier problem it was max z. Okay, maximization. Here we are having minimization problem. We should write min z. Okay, objective function. So, and I'll just mark some of the important things. Okay, so here so this is a farmer 400 kg special phosphate. Okay, at least. So this is very important here, at least. So while you are formulating, you'll get to know why at least. Okay, and no less than. So this is again important, no less than. Okay, so rest you will get to know. Okay, so rest you will get to know. Only things to remember is a minimization problem, at least no less than. Okay, this is a kind of a hint that I am giving you. So if you want, you can mark in your books as well. You can underline this, at least and no less than. Why, I'll tell you after formulation. Okay, or you will only get to know why these things are marked as important. Okay, try to make that particular box. Okay, or tabular columns stating all these things. Okay, in general, I'll just tell you again. There are two things here. So product A and B is there. So we need to have A and B, mixture A and mixture B. So mixture A and mixture B is here. So which are the two constraints? Here two constraints are phosphate, okay, phosphate and nitrogen are the two constraints. So we need to have these two as constraints, phosphate and nitrogen. So these things are just like hint that I am giving you. Okay, form that particular tabular column and try to form the equations. Okay, so read. So minimization, they have told again what minimization cost. So where are the costs? Costs are given 40 and 24. So this should be written in objective function. So first write what is x1, then x2, then use this 40 and 24 accordingly in your objective function. Then come to subject to st of comma min z, write the equation, write the equation, then subject to st comma first is phosphate, then it is nitrogen. Okay, so which are the two things? Write it properly. The other two equations. I'll give you some 5 minutes. Okay, so if you are done with it, just let me know what is the objective function that you have written. If it is right or no, I'll tell you. Then we will go to the constraints, subject to. If you are getting any doubts, you can ask me in between while solving. Students, fast. If you are completed with the objective function, you can move to the constraints subject to. Yeah, students, anyone completed? Just let me know.
No, sir.
Or is it difficult to understand, or what is the problem, students? Objective function should have x1 and x2 is related to both phosphate and nitrogen. So are you able to do it, or you need my help? Just let me know.
So we need help. So there are too many contents here.
There are not too many. These are the basic ones which will be given. Again, like the previous problem, only two constants are there. They could give you 4 5 constants. So at that time you will be having too many, more than this. Okay. So at times one full page of information only you have to read, and your answer will be of 4 or 5 lines. Okay. So I'll go and explain. So anyone else? Okay, who is trying, and I need to wait, or shall I proceed? Please respond, students. Yeah, other than Akanksha, anybody is trying, or should I move ahead? Yes, students, are you listening, or you are just there? Just a yes or no. If you are not able to, fine, well and good. I'll just explain you. So Akanksha told me to. Yeah. Yes, students, I can hear your background noise, but not your voice. Okay, fine. So whatever it is, I think that you are trying, but you are not getting. So as I'll go with Akanksha's words. Okay. So she wants me to tell. See here, I'll just explain you again. So what is there? At least 4,800 kgs of phosphate has to be put, and 7,200 kgs minimum, no less than. Okay, minimum has to be nitrogen put. Okay, as fertilizers, phosphate and nitrogen as fertilizers. Okay, so what they are giving? So these two mixture, there are two companies who are producing this. That is mixture A and mixture B. Two companies are there. Okay, so we are not getting phosphate separately and nitrogen separately. In this case, we are getting mixture of both. Okay, so mixtures A and B. So that's why the word mixture is used here. Okay, see here, the word mixture is used, A and B. So in A, how much I am getting? So both are there of 100 kgs. Again, they have given both of these bags are available in 100 kgs. Okay, so if you buy one, you are getting 100 kgs. Even for mixture A, we are getting 100 kgs. Mixture B also are getting 100 kgs. But there is a breakup. Okay, what is the breakup? Okay, before that, they are giving you the price. Okay, what is the price? See here, 40 for mixture A. So here it is respectively. So first they have given, that means we need to take it for A, and second it is 24. Okay, for product A or mixture A, 40 rupees it costs, and for mixture B it costs 24 rupees. So now they are telling you what is the mixture. So product A is there, which gives you a mixture of 20 kgs and 80 kgs. So this is 20 kgs of phosphate and 80 kgs of nitrogen. Okay, this is what is the breakup. 20 kg again respectively is there. So here first they are given phosphate, then nitrogen. So we have to go for 20 kgs as phosphate and 80 kgs as nitrogen. But in mixture B, what they are giving? They are giving 50 kg each. Okay, 50 kg each. So phosphate also is 50 kg and nitrogen also is 50 kg. Now what to do? We need to minimize the cost. Okay, so I'll go to the answer. So if you see, so here I have made some changes here. Okay, so that's why I kept this. So changes in the sense, in the earlier one I have put A and B here. Okay, instead of N and P, I have put A and B here, and my N and P were here. Okay, don't get confused with that also. So you can write anyhow. N and P was given to you here. Okay, so if I'll go back, see A and B also was given there. A and B is given here. I have written it on the top. So if I go back to this one, so A and B I have written here. Both are fine. Okay, until you are writing them properly. Okay, I don't have any issues. So your wish. So both I have kept here. Okay, I'll remove this again. Okay, so here what is there? Nitrogen and phosphate are there in both A and B. So how much of nitrogen is there? 80. And how much of phosphate? 20 in mixture A. In mixture B, how much is there? 50 and 50. Okay, what is the cost? Cost is being written here. So this is the cost. For A, it is costing me 40 rupees. For B, it is costing me 24 rupees. So then this is minimum requirement, and I'll mark those. Okay, so that's why I marked you not at least and no less than, means both same. I have to put minimum of 4,800 kgs of phosphate and minimum of 7,200 kgs of nitrogen. Okay, so this is what that means. So for nitrogen, if you see, for nitrogen it is 7,200 kgs, and here it is minimum requirement. Okay, and for phosphate, what is the minimum requirement? For phosphate, it is 4,800. Okay, so this is the information in tabular column on whatever they have given. So what all they have given, prices they have given 40 and 24. They have given the mixtures. For A it is nitrogen 80 and phosphate 20. Okay, for B they have given 50 and 50. And even they have mentioned how much a particular farmer has to put in his fields to get maximum output. Okay, but what is the condition here? We need to minimize his cost. There are two things. Okay, two alternatives. How much of each he has to buy? That is my question here. Okay, so you already know that's here. Minimization is already given to you. So I'll write objective function. Always you need to write like this only. OF objective function in capital letters, comma, minimum Z. So this should tell you whether you have to go for maximization or minimization. This is minimization problem, minimum Z. Okay, what I need to minimize? The cost. Okay, so where are the costs? 40 and 24. These are the costs. So again, before going here, we need to tell what is X1. Okay, and what is X2. What is X1? X1 will be for A, quantity of A, and X2 will be quantity in the sense here number of bags you can take. Number of bags of A and number of bags of B, or quantity of A and quantity of B is fine. So X1 and X2. So similarly for A it is X1, so it is 40 X1 plus for B it is 24. We are having 24 X2. Okay, this is objective function. So you need to find what? For objective function it is cost. So in my objective function I need to include cost. Okay, this you should remember. Then what are the costs? So for A it will be X1, for B it will be X2. So cost of X1 into, cost of A into X1 plus cost of B into X2. Okay, this will be my objective function. In general, I'm telling you. So earlier one, if you see what was there, it was sales. So maximization of sales was there. Sorry, profit. Sorry, not sales. It was profit. So if you see, they have given you, if I sell one, if I sell of one product of A, what is the profit, and one product of B, what is the profit. So my objective function should contain profit. So here what it is, minimization of cost. So my objective function should always contain cost. Okay, so that's why 40x1 and 24x2. Now coming to the subjective, that is constraints. Where is my cursor? Here. So what is subjective? Subjective is here. Subjective first is AT. AT in the sense this is nitrogen. So two constraints are there. I told one is for nitrogen and other is for phosphate. You can write this. So first time I had written, so till you understand it, you can write it. Okay, N is equal to and P is equal to. So what is that N and P? So for phosphate, what is the minimum quantity I need to put? 7200. So your end will be 7200 for phosphate. Okay, for A, how much I am getting? 80. So it is 80 x1. Okay, 80 x1. And for second one, what it is? It is 50. So in the B, I am getting 50. But total, how much it should be? 7200. So 50 x2. So always remember, your equation should contain x1 and x2 both. Okay, if both are given, it should be there. Otherwise, there are constraints where only x1 is given or only x2 is given. So that can also be the case. But in this, both they are given. Nitrogen is present in both x1 also, sorry, in product A also and product B also. So both we need to combine here. So what is the combination? So both combination is, here I am having 80x1 because 80 is available in product A and 50 is available in product B. So 80x1 here, then plus 50x2. Okay, then I'll go back here. So at least means I need to minimum use these many quantity. Okay, and no less than. Again, it is minimum I need to use. Okay, minimum in the sense it should not go below this, right? It should be equal to or it should be greater than. So that's why I'm using here greater than or is equal to. So that's why I had marked it over there. Not less than and minimum of. So not less than in the sense what? It should be equal to that or greater than that. So your equation is greater than or equal to 7200. Now coming to phosphate. So phosphate for A is 20. Phosphate for A is 20. I'll just remove too much of writing has happened. Okay, for phosphate, so write N and P again here, N and this is P. So for phosphate, if you see, 20 is given here for A. So A, it is x1. Okay, A, it is x1. So I write 20 x1 plus, again for B also we are having phosphate, it is 50 and again it is x2. So it is 50 x2. So again for phosphate, what they have given? Phosphate is here. Okay, farmer to spread out at least this many special phosphate. So at least means again I am having minimum of. So minimum of should be in the sense is equal to or greater than, right? So again I am using greater than or is equal to 4800. So that is the maximum, like the number given, right? So minimum of 4800 means, for example, I'll give you. So if you are looking for a job with salary of minimum of 3 lakhs, means what? Minimum of 3 lakhs in the sense you should get at least 3 lakhs or above, right? So similarly, when I say not less than, in the sense I should not get less than this. So I can get is equal to this or I should get more than this. Okay, so that is why we are using greater than or is equal to in both the places. Both the places they ask minimum or not less than. So both are the same. Both the meanings are same. Okay, so this is what I am telling you. You should know these words. You should know the meaning of these words. Means what? Okay, so only two are there. That is N and P. Okay, so these two equations are already there. That is, and last one, non-negativity condition. What is it? X1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. So at times many students will get confused. Greater than or equal to means what, lesser than or equal to, how to write. So always remember this one. If you remember this, the opposite is less than or equal to. So this is non-negativity condition which always gives you greater than or is equal to 0. Okay, so if you want to write less than, it should be always like this, less than or equal to. Okay, so this is a tip where you can remember this non-negativity, how to write x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. In the exam also, if you get confused, so there could be 2 to 3 questions on this. So where in some places they might have given you the formulation directly. So go there, even they should give you this non-negativity condition. Go there and check the sign. So whatever the sign is there for non-negativity, that is greater than or equal to. If you want to write that, copy it. Otherwise, write it opposite. Okay, so did you get the formulation here, or did you get any confusion? Yes, students, did you get the
So,
formulation?
Get it, sir.
I got it.
Got it, right? So now, so after my class, just see the question and try to formulate again. So you might think you might have got it, but again, if I give the same question, you will have the same issues again as you got earlier. Okay, so try to solve it. Otherwise, come back and see the figure again. Okay, so this is how you learn. You think in these kind of problems you need to practice a lot, students. Otherwise, you think you have understood, but if I give the same question again, you'll get stuck up somewhere in between. Okay, so there were no many information given to you. This is the least amount of information that they should give you for uh, forming LPP. Okay, this is the minimum, I'm telling you, minimum number of information that will be given to you, or it will be more than this. Okay, always it could be equal to this or more than this again. Okay, so you need to go through a lot of problems of LPP for formulation at least. Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Okay, it's already the time that I have exceeded. Yeah.
So can you tell me the answer of x1 and x2, what it has come?
So can we see it in the next class? I want you to solve it. Okay, take
So,
this as a
so
homework.
I've done it. So just check if it is correct.
No, that's what in the next class. So
Okay, sir.
don't do anything of that sort. Like I want right answer only. Try it from your end without getting the answers. Okay. So again, I'll explain tomorrow like how I have drawn that particular equation and what was the answer. Okay. So remember, minimization problem, we need to get the minimum point and not the maximum point. Earlier, 1000 was the maximum point. So we had asked for maximum only, so we had chosen maximum. Here, minimum is required. Draw the graph. Okay. So using find points for both the equations, plot it on a graph, then mark the points for the feasible region. Okay. Find out the what do you call it? The axis x and y point. Substitute in the objective function. Then pick the minimum one. Okay, pick the one which is having minimum. Okay, so anyway, this particular video will be uploaded again in half an hour or 1 hour or so. Okay, so if you are having any doubt or if you want to go back and refer something, this video is available. Okay, in YouTube. As and when I complete it, if you want, I'll drop a link. Okay, I'll drop the link to this particular video in the group. Those who want to come back and refer, okay, you can refer. Okay, so by this we'll end our class for today. Okay, in the next class, we'll see the graph for this and find out the minimum point. Okay. I hope no doubts here, students.
No, sir.